I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but you know this little voice inside of you, which were there right in the beginning, which came through again and again and again, which always sits in the back of your mind, but even more in the depth of your heart. Follow it, because it's right. It's always right. You know your intuition is always right. But now here comes the thing. The thing you're gonna ask for, you are also gonna receive it. If you ask for it specifically, God hears you and you're gonna receive it. But oftentimes it never looks in the form as we want it to be. And it also comes in a form we could not possibly even imagine. Okay, so yesterday morning, I wrote in my journal a decision I made. I was so clear on it. And I wrote, I trust that God will give me exactly what I'm seeking and for what I'm asking. And in the evening, something happened where it's just those magical moments which feel like coincidences, but you know they're not. They're a fucking fate. And where just reality overlaps because the decision you made internally is aligning then with the external. But it happened in a form which wasn't comfortable for me at all. I give it a meaning, like I assign it with meaning that this is painful or that this feels good. Like it's like based on our experiences, but the experience just is. We just interpret it in our own way. But it was exactly what I was asking for. So if something happened in your life where it catches you completely off guard and you still don't understand, wait, why me, and why something so uncomfortable and painful again? Maybe this is exactly the thing you have been asking for. It just shows up in a different form. But this is also just the other side of the joy, the most joyful and the greatest future. It's just another expression of it. And I cannot believe, and we tend to forget, but I literally have it in my journal written here. Stop. I'm in a lot of pain this morning, and I just saw a bee flying from one grass to the next one. A really deep and painful wound was activated for me yesterday, and it just allows me to step in to reflect on how far I've come in my healing journey since my breakup. Because pain feels really similar in our body, right? In the end, it doesn't matter so much what exactly or with what person or even how long a relationship lasts or what it even is. But the wounds which are underneath it, they feel really similar. And I'm just so proud of myself, how stable I am, and that something painful happens to me. And even though it feels really scary because just my nervous system being on such an alert again just feels completely unsafe, but I just know what I need. I just know what I need in order to feel safe. And I get clearer on this every single day. And this morning, obviously I didn't skip my morning walk. They are already healing in itself. Then the first thing I did was going to this tree and just leaning into it and giving it all my sorrow, because a human sorrow is way too much to be handled on one's own. But luckily, nature and trees, they can hold it for us, and they're gonna grow something really beautiful out of it, as we do. And then I danced to just get the energy moving, because the pain from me sitting like in my chest, like in this area of my solar plexus, and there's just this tight knot. And with the dancing, I just release it into my whole body, and it can move freely, and the stress cycle can actually also be closed. And even if like magically my pain is also connected to vlogging and just filming myself, it just happens so automatically. That's another way for showing up and giving myself the love and the attention and the extra care I just need in those moments. And it just feels so good having a routine established which maintains your safety, and one you can, it's a little anchor. You can always come back to it. Doesn't matter what happens in your life. And you know this thing is gonna be there for you. You can just exit it. You can just tap into it whenever you need to. Okay, I just came back to pick up this pottery, and I'm so excited to open it now because it's such a poetic and full circle moment. But the day I made those was the day I met a person I was talking about in the beginning. So I made those before I met him, and now I picked those things up a bit more than a month later, after things now ended and turned into a different direction. And I feel that those pieces just traveled through time. And at the same time, now they give me like such a sense of comfort, because I remember this day so vividly and how good I felt. And I even recorded a video in the evening. So, okay, first I'm gonna put the recording from a month ago, and then I'm gonna open it. Today was such a magical day. I felt just the biggest shift inside of me. I became love. I was just
walking, embodying pure love. And somehow I just pulled connections in. The whole day, wherever I went, there were just like those little moments of connection with strangers. And it made me feel so alive. And by the end of the day, I was already on my way home. And I just sat on a bench in front of my river. And next to me was sitting a man. And I wanted to start reading my book. And then I felt this huge urge to just talk to him, to ask him what he was studying, because he was studying and then he was reading out loud some words. And I just felt this huge curiosity inside of me and just this voice of like, ask him. And it was super strong. Actually, now when I reflect back on it, I couldn't continue reading. I immediately closed my book again and I was turning towards him and said, what are you studying? And we just had a 1 hour conversation. And it was super beautiful. It made me feel alive. And present and being able to enjoy just the moment and the interactions with strangers. And how easy they are. They're so easy. And I feel such a change in my external world based on how I change my internal. And I trust God with everything He's giving me and placing into my life, or even taking from my life. And I'm walking the path, I'm walking God's path, and I still don't know where it's leading me, but it's exciting. I'm so excited. I really am. Okay. So this is my little, it's actually like a matcha wrist holder, but I don't know, maybe I'm gonna use it as a way, something else, as a vase or something. Oh my god. Oh, look how pretty. And I made, this is like so wild. So I made those, you can see there's like this pattern, and I made those with my fingertips. And those pieces, they're gonna remind me now of that day where I felt like I was walking love, and how love is inside of me, and how I can exit it in every moment. And that love is never leaving us. Love is always around us if we choose to tap into it. And those pieces are always gonna remind me of it. And also that this day will come again where I will feel like walking love. First thing I see, the sun came out so greatly, I only saw the holes of my dream. This is my burden, this song. Sometimes life
He got a little heart, but it won't be long.